What's up YouTube, averylr32 here. Want to bring you guys my ban list prediction video via DN. Now before you guys start, leaving in the comments below, what is all this crap, what are you doing stupid, you're a gypsy, let me explain, alright? So, like I said, this is going to be my ban list. I have it right here on a piece of paper. I'm doing it from DN because my webcam is messing up, really weirdly, like. So, let's just start off for not really crap and giggles. But honestly, Chain Strike needs to go to 1, Marshmallow needs to go to 1, Accumulated and 1 Day of Peace need to go to 1. Just because, first of all, I hope to God that happens. I doubt it's going to, but I hate Chainburn. It's a gay deck. It doesn't take any thinking. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. But yeah. So, anyways, now that that is out of the way, let's get on to what I think is going to be banned. Moving on. Yeah, I don't think anything is going to get banned, you guys. There really hasn't been that one card that really just needs to get, just needs to be banned, like Rescue Cat or whatever. But anyways, I'm going to move on to Limited. And what I have right here is Insector Hornet. Why Insector Hornet? The card needs to be limited because it's just way too broken, obviously. That's why it needs to go to 1. Because it opens up so many plays with one card. It's kind of like Brain Control. Brain Control helped you win a game off of a top deck. If you top deck a Hornet with a Hornet in Graveyard, you can at least pop one card on the field. Or if you go Dragonfly, play out a Hornet, send Hornet to the graveyard, pop another one, get Centipede from your deck, play the Hornet from your graveyard. They only use one Hornet in order to pop your whole field. So what's the big deal in only using one Hornet? So that's my reasoning for it to go to 1. Next up, Super Polymerization. Why? First of all, no card can be activated in response to Super Polymerization, and it lets you fuse cards from both sides of the field. If that's not broken enough, I don't really know what is. Yes, it's only used by heroes, but at 3, if you're not going to put it down to 1, at least put it to 2. Something has to be done to Super Poly. Next up, Rescue Cat. Why is this card coming back to 1? Because we no longer have priority, and really there isn't a lot of broken beasts out there. We don't have Dark Strike Fighter, so we really can't bring back the Rescue Cat OTK format. And back in Rescue Cat OTK format, we still had priority, but Konami did not. So I really don't see this card having a lot of play if it came back to 1, but it would also help out those lower decks like X-Sabers and Gladiator Beasts who really don't have much of a chance, if any, this format, just because of all the other decks that are out there. Like, look at Windups, look at Chaos Dragons, basically every deck in the meta, especially when Glads have to go against Dino Rabbit. Dino Rabbit just craps on Gladiator Beasts, unfortunately. Next up, coming back to 1, Dark Magician of Chaos. This card just got reprinted in the Battle Pack, and just like Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, they brought back BLS, and they just reprinted it in Gold Series. They just reprinted Dark Magician of Chaos in Battle Pack. Does that mean they're going to bring back Pot of Greed, Premature Burial, and all that? No, but I'm just saying, it's a reasonable card to be brought back. It's banished whenever it's removed from the field, so there's really no way you can get it back unless you're going to be using DDR. It is a broken card, and it lets you reuse your spells, but if anything, I really have a big feeling that they will bring back Dark Magician of Chaos, plus we don't have priority. So it's not as good as it was back in the day. And, like I just said, it got reprinted in Battle Pack, and, Konami's done stranger things, They hurt the TGs a lot, and the TGs was doing nothing here except in YCS Atlanta, where the guy basically got lucky. And so I just have the feeling that they brought out BLS in Gold Series, and they brought it back to 1. They're reprinting a banned card once again. Will it come back to 1? Next up, to 1, Wind-Up Rabbit. Just yesterday, the deck won Nationals. Wind-Up Rabbit is just one of those cards that says, I can basically do whatever I want, and you basically can't respond with anything unless you have a Spell Speed 3 card or an Effect Veiler. You know, when you summon Wind Up Rabbit, unless they have the Solemn Warning or the Effect Veiler, they're going to be able to get rid of their Wind Up Rabbit, and it basically is one of those cards that makes you waste your resources on it when you know that it's basically hopeless. So if they don't put it to 1, I think they will put it to 2. I was going over this with my teammates, so I don't want anything to happen to it, but, you know, if what everyone says is true, that they make the ban list 2 months after, like, 2 months into the new format, windups were really big 2 months into this format, and, I mean, they were broke as it was, so, you know, they might hurt windups a lot. Next up. Oh, God, they better bring this card back. Sinister Serpent to 1. Why? Read its effect. During your standby phase, if a Sinister Serpent exists in your graveyard, you can return the Sinister Serpent to your hand. That is completely broken, right? No, it's not. It's not broken. Like, look at the other stuff that we have right now. Compare it to Sinister Serpent. I mean, those cards are 10 times... The cards that we have right now are 10 times more broken than Sinister Serpent. You know, it's not like a Delinquent Duo. It's not like a Magician of Faith. And by the way, I don't think Magician of Faith is going to come back. Everybody thinks it's going to come back every format. It's not. Because it lets you reuse your Monster Reborn, Dark Holes, all that stuff. Sinister Serpent needs to come back to 1 at the very least. What deck is going to use it? I mean, nothing. It's got terrible stats. It's a water type, so it might be ran in some kind of water deck. It's a reptile, so it helps out those, like, Venomanaga decks. So, I mean, which Venomanagas, stuff like that, they don't really do anything. So, you know, there's really no say in that. Alright, moving on, because I just realized I'm kind of in a hurry. Next up, Tsukiyomi. Everybody thinks that this card is going to come back every format, and I agree this format. We don't have priority, so if you summon it, they can trap hole it, they can torrential it, you know, solemn warning it, solemn judgment it, they can do whatever, they can effect veiler it. We have so many outs for this card right now. So, and it's basically a Book of Moon in monster form. So, I think it's necessary for, just because of what we've seen in this format. Metamorphosis back to 1. Now, why Metamorphosis back to 1? Back in Go Control, the card was absolutely broken. But now, reading its effect, what cards use fusion monsters? Like, the only thing I can see at the moment which Metamorphosis could be busted with is activating Metamorphosis on a Sangan, tributing off the Sangan to play out your level 3 fusion monster in windups, then using Sangan to search and then exceed. But what if your Sangan isn't on the field? You'll have to waste your normal summon. So just bringing it back to 1, I really don't think anyone's going to be using it. To 1 now. Or, I'm sorry. No. This is all semi-limited now. So let me start off with Heradic Dragon of a Tomb. Heratics have been doing a lot in Japan, so something does need to be done, and I think putting a Tomb down to 2 would be good. I don't think Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Champion, Charge or whatever, is going to be hit. It is a broken card, but only certain decks can run it. It's not one of those cards like Effect Veiler that you can throw into every deck. Rescue Rabbit to 2. I don't really think that this would kill the deck that much because it would still be usable. You know, you could use your first Rescue Rabbit on a Logia and then your second one on a Dolka or something like that. So if they don't hit it at all, you know, maybe they'll put it down to 1, maybe leave it at 3. But probably a 2 would be safe to say. Once I saw this card, Heradic Dragon of Sue, I knew exactly that it was going to be going to 2. Because it's an MST with a 2200 face, and it looks like Spyro, so, but no, I honestly do think that something is going to happen to this card just because it's another MST. If you run 3 Sues and 3 MSTs, you're basically running 6 MSTs, which is broke. Inzektor Dragonfly to 2. You gotta be able to hit Inzektor some way, and Dragonfly is what helps get out all of your special summon combos, and you have to be able to slow down that deck. It's just not fair. Light Pulsar and Red MD to 2, you have to hit Chaos Dragon somehow, and Red MD and Light Pulsar is what makes the Light Pulsar lock. So if you Dark Hole, they're going to get right back out their Red MD. You have to be able to hit the deck somehow, and really, if you ban Future Fusion, you kind of kill the deck, or you basically badly cripple it, but I would say you kill it. So I think putting Light Pulsar and Red MD down to 2 wouldn't really change a difference. It would just, you know, kind of slow it down just a tad, but it could still be competitive. So anyways, guys, I think that's it. for this. If you guys enjoyed, I would appreciate a like. You know I love it when you like it. And I have to get going. All right, bye.